Welcome everyone to our next topic to be discussed, that is Kingdom Monera. Now in the last class we have already discussed about the five kingdom concept, isn't it? So there we have got that the whole living world is divided into five kingdoms and Kingdom Monera is the first one to be discussed. Now Monera kingdom includes all the prokaryotic unicellular organisms. Okay, that means here most primitive organisms or life forms are present. So this is the most primitive class of classification, also we can say them. So here basically the organisms that are present, they consist of unicellular prokaryotes. Okay, unicellular, they may be sometimes colonial or filamentous also. Then they occur in all types of habitat, all possible habitats. Then their size may vary from very small to a few microns in length. Okay, but basically they are very small, so their size may vary from 1 micrometer to few microns. Then their genetic material is actually absent, only DNA is present, which is a naked DNA. Okay, then the cell wall consists of peptidoglycans. Their structural organization is very simple. The ribosome present, that is 70S. Sep vacuoles are absent, gas vacuoles are only present. Sexual reproduction is completely absent. Only asexual reproduction takes place with the help of binary fission. Then their respiration may be either aerobic or anaerobic. Nutrition may be autotrophic or heterotropic. Then these actually organisms, they play a very important role in nitrogen fixation, which we will discuss later on. Okay, so basically these are the main characteristics of the prokaryotic organisms. Now let us first discuss about a prokaryote, that is the Monerans kingdom organism. So first let's discuss about the bacteria. Now bacteria means these are the Moneran prokaryotic organisms which are basically unicellular and are chlorophyll-less. Okay, it was first actually discovered by Leeuwenhoek and the term was coined by Ehrenberg. Okay, now these bacteria, they are unicellular, present in all type of habitats. Okay, the cell wall consists of peptidoglycan. Mucilage covering is present. Now if this is the cell, then here a mucilage covering is present. Okay, then the nucleus remain folded. Okay, DNA remains folded, then takes a Y-shaped structure. Then membrane bound organelles are absent. The ribosome present, that is 70S. We know ribosomes, there are two types, 70 and 80S. So basically here 70S ribosomes are present. Reproduction takes place by binary fission, and nutrition, that is either photoautotropic, saprophytic, parasitic or chemoautotropic. Okay, and here flagella is present, and that flagella is unistranded and it consists of fibrin protein. Okay, now while we are studying the structure of bacteria, shape of bacteria, we find different types. First is the bacillus. Bacillus, the shapes are rod like. Okay, if single is present, then it is called single bacillus. If two rods joint are remain close together, then they are known as diplobacillus. If they occur in the form of a stack, then they are known as palisade bacillus, and if they occur in the form of chains, then it is known as streptobacillus. Again, it may be either coccus. Coccus means round bacteria. Okay, if they are in the form of round small balls, then we call them as coccus. If they occur singly, monococcus. In two pairs, diplococcus. In four, tetracoccus. If they occur in the form of a cube, then we call it as sarcine. If in the form of chain, then streptococcus, and if they appear in the form of a bunch of grapes, then it is known as staphylococcus. Okay, then spirillum means it remains spirally coiled, and here the axial filament is absent. Now this is the structure of spirillum. Here axial filament is actually. Next is coma, or we can call it as vibrio also. It takes actually the structure like a coma, so it is known as coma. Example, Vibrio cholera. Then spirochaete also, it appears helical in or like this type of structure, but here actually it is similar to that of the spirillum, but only the difference is that here the axial filament is present, which is absent in the spirillum. Then is mycelial bacteria, which remains in the form of mycelial filamentous form. Okay, then stalk bacteria, the bacterial cell will have a extra stalk. Budding bacteria, the bacteria will have like this type of bud-like structures from which it can reproduce. Okay, when we are studying about bacteria, then we'll come across the term gram staining. Now, Christian Gram actually introduced a technique which the help of which we can stain the bacteria. Here, actually, what happens? The bacterial either curd or with the help of root nodules, bacteria is taken and it is smeared in a slide, and then it is treated with different chemicals so that their color can be detected. That means gram staining is there. The process is known as gram staining. If the bacteria shows a purple stain, then it is known as gram positive. If it shows pink stain, then it is known as gram negative bacteria. Okay. Now let's discuss about the structure of the bacterial cell. The bacterial cell actually, it consists of an outer covering, okay, and that particular covering is known as the cell envelope. It is the outer covering of the protoplasm. That means if this is the whole cell, the outer covering is known as cell envelope, and this cell envelope is again divided into three components. First is the glycocalyx. Glycocalyx means the outer coating, okay, which is rich in polysaccharides. This is called the glycocalyx. This is also known as the slime layer, okay, because it is actually loosely arranged. It consists of a sheet like structure, so it is also known as slime layer. And if it is tough, then it is known as the capsule. But whatever it is, actually it is the outer covering. Next comes the cell wall. Cell wall is a rigid structure, okay, and this provides protection to the inner content of the cell. Now the space between the cell wall, it consists of a gel like substances, okay. The gram positive bacteria possess teichoic acid in the cell wall. Then the space in between the two cell wall and the plasma membrane is called the periplasmic space. Got it? And after the actually cell wall, that lies the plasma membrane. That plasma membrane is an elastic like layer which encloses the whole cytoplasmic content, and this cytoplasm actually, it bears the different cell organelles and the different things, contents of the cell. Now actually what is there in cytoplasm? First of all, we get the mesosome, okay. Mesosome, that means it is the membranous structure found, and it helps in during the cell division, okay. Then ribosomes are present. After ribosome, cell inclusions are there. Reserved food materials are present here. Inorganic granules are there. Gas vacuoles are there, okay. These are polyribosomes are present in chain like structures. Ribosome, when they combine together forming a chain like structure, then we call it as polyribosomes. If they occur singly, we call it as ribosomes. RNA is present, glycogen, then lipid globules are present, okay. Then the nuclear body is folded, it appears in like this type of structure. Then plasma membrane, mucilage cavity is there. So all these structures, these are the respiratory enzymes which will help in respiration. Small finger like projections which are known as fimbriae are present, okay. So all these together constitute the bacterial cell, and these inner inclusions are present within the plasma membrane, okay. Now next we come to the flagella. Now flagella, actually this is another important part, because flagella, it is unistranded and it consists of a protein structure. This help in movement, actually it is the basic structure which helps in movement of the what we say is the bacterial cell. Now if the flagellum is simple, this type of structure, then we call it as atrichous. If it consists without a flagellum, then atrichous. If one flagella is present, then monotrichous. If a number of flagella are present at one end of the bacterial cell, then we known as lophotrichous. If it is present either singly or in tuft in both the ends, then it is known as amphitrichous. And if it is present throughout the bacterial cell, then we call it as peritrichous, okay. So these are the different types of flagella. Okay, now whatever we have discussed, actually that is the basic thing regarding the Moneran kingdom, the characters and the structure of bacteria. Okay, so you go through each and every point, the structures basically. Okay, then the cell wall structure, what is present, what is not there, Gram staining method, the flagella, etc. Everything you go through them, study the books thoroughly. Okay, everything is mentioned over there, point by point you study, so that it helps in your objective questions and answers. So if there is any problem regarding understanding this portion, then please let me know.